and reacts to your crazy new Spider-Man news, Venom variants, and SpiderVerse. Take a look, see what the customer has to say about this, and check it out.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and it really does look like Sony is switching things up for the better. There's a lot that they have in the works right now over at Sony with their Spider-Man universe. Although it's been kind of rocky so far, it looks like they're about to turn it around in a really big way. If you are a fan of Andrew Garfield and you're waiting for TASM 3, if you are a fan of Tobey Maguire and you want to see more of him as well, these are things that are actually on the table over at the Sony Spider-Man universe. And the cool thing is, we could be seeing more than just the two of them, the two other Spider-Men besides Tobey Maguire, more than just them show up in the Sony Spider-Man universe. We could actually be seeing some old villains from their respective universes popping up in some upcoming movies. And I'm specifically talking about Madam Web, and the two characters I'm specifically talking about today are Venom and Harry Osborn. And no, I'm not talking about Tom Hardy's Venom, but I am specifically talking about Topher Grace's Venom from Spider-Man 3 and Harry Osborn from the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. We'll be breaking down these latest rumors, and there is a lot to talk about, especially if you consider the fact that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are rumored to have signed a deal to appear in Avengers Secret Wars, and Kevin Feige is working very closely with Sony to work on their Sony Spider-Man universe right now, and it looks like Sony could be taking a page from Marvel's playbook and be building a universe kind of like Marvel Studios did. If you have been following the latest Sony Spider-Man news, or if you've been keeping up with the channel, you probably know that Sony is building up a huge universe. This universe is going to, of course, be focused on Spider-Man and Spider-Man characters. It is indeed going to be a multiverse, and the multiverse is going to truly start with the movie Madam Web. And for those of you who may not have kept up with the latest news, Madam Web is essentially a cosmic entity who can go through the multiverse. She can travel to different universes. And right now it's looking like the villain of Madam Web is going to be Ezekiel Sims, a character who has pretty similar powers to Spider-Man in the comics. And in the movie, it looks like he's going to be able to travel the multiverse as well and hunt down different variants of Spider-Man. Now, with the latest rumors that Topher Grace's Venom and Dane DeHaan's Harry Osborn could show back up, specifically in Madam Web, it makes us kind of excited about what Sony could be doing with their future projects. Obviously, with the multiverse popping up and being a major factor of what they're trying to do, the possibilities are pretty much endless. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was a perfect example of what could happen. Seeing three amazing, different Spider-Men all on screen at the same time, working together to defeat villains from other universes as well. However, there could be a big problem that comes with this, which we're about to talk about, but first let's address these rumors and how they could possibly come to play in Madam Web. So this rumor has been reported on by a lot of different websites, including Fandom Wire, but I believe the original report is coming from the account Spider_Culture. And they say, take with a grain of salt, Green Goblin from TASM 2 and Venom from Spider-Man 3 could return in Madam Web. Now, we all know how good Sony is at keeping secrets. None of us knew that Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire were going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, so they may not be that good at it. So this report could entirely be true, and it actually makes sense for a movie like Madam Web. This movie is apparently going to show us many different universes, all of which take place inside of the Spider-Verse. From what we've heard about the villain so far is that he's going to be going to different universes trying to kill Spider-Man variants to essentially eliminate all of the Spider-Men across the multiverse. And we can assume it will kind of be up to Madam Web to stop it. But while we explore these other universes, this is where we could see these other characters that used to be in previous Sony films. I don't think they're going to be bringing these characters from other universes into one main universe. Rather, I think we're going to explore other universes and see these characters once again. Now keep in mind, these universes have already been brought up by Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire returning in Spider-Man No Way Home. So these universes exist, and there are Spider-Men in these universes, which means they could be visited by Madam Web. I know fans would absolutely love for this to happen, and I do think it is a really good idea if Sony does it right. And you've probably heard me say that before, but it's true. They have to do it right. They can't just do it for fan service. However, there is a big difference between just throwing characters out there for the heck of it because the studio thinks that it'll bring people to watch and it'll make money, and actually doing it right within a good story. And I think this is actually what Sony is doing now. They are listening to the audience. They realize that a lot of people really love Spider-Man No Way Home. They loved Andrew and Tobey back, but they also loved the story, and they realize that they can do this again if they keep making good stories. Bringing these characters in as a part of an overall great story, not just bringing them back to do it. Because if you're a studio, you do have to somewhat at least listen to your audience, because these are the people going and watching your movies and buying them. You have to pay attention to what they like and what they don't like. So creating a multiverse and exploring other universes and seeing old characters in old universes is a really great idea if it fits really well in the story they are trying to tell. And since Madam Web is going to explore different Spider-Man universes, it does fit rather well in the story. So if this happens, I do believe it's a very good call. They are also setting up a possibility for more than just Spider-Man variants to appear, but other variants to appear on the same screen at the same time. For example, it's been said that Sony is going to be building up to a Spider-Geddon movie. This will essentially be a movie like Avengers Secret Wars. It will involve a bunch of different Spider-Man variants, all from different universes coming to one main universe, fighting against a villain or multiple different villains. And this could be really cool considering the different types of variants that Sony has. For example, if they do bring back Topher Grace's Venom, well, that Venom was kind of evil, and that Eddie Brock was evil. However, if you look at Tom Hardy's Venom and his Eddie Brock, they're not really evil. They're more of anti-heroes. So if you ever did get the two of them in the same movie, they would actually verse each other. So we could get Venom versus Venom. So as you can see, there are a lot of great possibilities that come with a multiverse done right. And the great news is it seems like Sony seems to be resetting their universe. Whatever plans they had before with Morbius and Michael Keaton's Vulture jumping into that universe, that may still happen and may be able to be tied into Madam Web somehow, but it does kind of seem like they're somewhat abandoning that a little bit. It seems like they're going to focus on Venom 3 with Tom Hardy and could possibly even bring in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man for that, and then from there essentially build on the story arc that Madam Web is going to introduce to us. This will bring multiple different universes, but should also bring a main Spider-Man to the MCU. It is confirmed that we are going to see a pregnant Mary Parker, who is the mother of Peter Parker, so she will be pregnant with Peter Parker. Could this be the rebirth of a Spider-Man in the main Sony universe, or could this be in another universe, an alternate universe? Because again, we can expect to see several different universes in Madam Web. It is a multiversal film. So this could be the rebirth of the Sony Spider-Man universe, leading us to Spider-Geddon. This is kind of what Marvel Studios is doing right now. They are building up a multiverse to lead up to Avengers Secret Wars. Kevin Feige is working with Sony, so they could be doing something similar, but only with Spider-Man and his variants. And what's really cool is, if they do in fact do Spider-Geddon, it'll take place after Secret Wars, so we could be getting more Spider-Men in one film again before Spider-Geddon, because like I mentioned in Secret Wars, it's been reported that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield might have signed a contract to appear in that film. And since they all came back for Spider-Man No Way Home and agreed to do it and loved doing it, and now have seen how much the fans appreciated them coming back and how much the fans truly do love them, it makes sense that they would want to do it again, even if the cameo is for but a brief moment. So as far as Spider-Man is concerned, I think his future is very bright, both in the Sony universe and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hopefully we'll start to see a bunch of different variants in both universes. Hopefully we'll get people like Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, and others inside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and hopefully we get those in the Sony Spider-Man universe as well. But let me know your thoughts about these reports in the comments down below and the overall direction that Sony seems to be going. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video to stay up to date on all of the latest Spider-Man news. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Yeah, please subscribe, like this video, and see you guys. Bye.